Hey Bears fans, DeWitt and Nicholas Moreano here. We are making the case for the Chicago Bears entering the 2023 NFL Draft, which prospects would make a lot of sense. But before we get into today's player, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss any of our videos all off season long. But let's go ahead and let's make the case for someone. And I'm excited because we're going to make the case for Myles Murphy, the edge defender out of Clemson. He had 40 tackles, 11 for loss, and 6.5 sacks last season. He's 19th on PFF's top 150, and he's 6th according to Mock Draft Database. So there's a lot to like about Myles Murphy. I have a kind of an extensive list, so I'm going to let Nick kind of start things off, and then I'll pick it up from there.
Sounds good with me, Will. The thing that I like about Myles Murphy that maybe not a lot of these edge players possess currently is just the tools that he can use to get to the quarterback, the moves that he can utilize, and it starts with his hands. And that's what I think really jumps out to me and why he was so productive at Clemson, why he was able to get to the pass rush or provide a consistent pass rush to get to the quarterback consistently. So I really like that as a prospect, that you're not coming into the NFL raw at those things. He seems like a vet when it comes to rushing the passer and how he can do so. But Will, please enlighten me on all the things that you know about Myles Murphy.
All right, so first of all, physical makeup, ideal. He has that length, and he knows how to use it. He has high athleticism. It's off the charts. He's going to be one of the fastest edge players this entire draft, and I just love watching him work through twists and different stunts. He can just be very dangerous once he's twisting inside. And we can talk about him as a pass rusher all day. He's very much a prototypical defensive end, so he doesn't give me those concerns about, is he a tweener? Is he a 3-4 backer, or is he a defensive end? He is a true hands in the dirt type of player. And I talked about this on a podcast, but I just want to kind of hit home again. Myles Murphy is one of the best run defenders in this draft class at his position. He had a grade of 92.5 according to PFF during his freshman year, which led the entire nation, not just at the position, but the entire nation in terms of like being the best run defender. Bears need help at getting after QBs. They need help setting the edge and being better, and Murphy's one of the best to do it here in the draft class.
Well, I mean, again, all the positive about Myles Murphy, we can probably go on and on. Some of the negatives, and I think these are, again, nitpicking at some of these top prospects here, but there was a little tight. I think he could go upfield. He shows that speed, but there's a little tightness in the hips when he has to change direction all of a sudden. Still a very athletic player, and again, like that's a small knock on a player that was very consistent, especially at rushing the opposing quarterback. But when it came to sudden change of direction, saw a little bit of hip tightness. And what else did you see from Myles Murphy there?
Yeah, he needs to recognize plays a little bit quicker. There's been some delays where he was unable to identify exactly what the offenses are doing, and they're able to kind of exploit that on top of it. In addition to that, too, just like a lot of these guys, just continuing to build to his repertoire, add more pass rush moves, counters, have more polished plan of attacks when you're going after the passer. Those are just some of the things, but overall, the good outweighs the bad.
No doubt about it, and that's why when we make the case for Myles Murphy to be a Bear, there's a lot of reason to do so. But I'm going back just to the physical makeup, 6'5", 275. That is your defensive end in a 4-3 scheme. There's no questions about it. And you, again, like the upside of what he's able to do to get to the opposing quarterbacks, how he plays the run. So it makes sense for what the Bears are looking for out of that position. There is no discrepancy of what Myles Murphy is. He's a 4-3 defensive end. I think he can be a very effective one.
Yep, he can hold that edge, keep everything inside, and he also has the speed to catch up if they run away from him. He can make some plays off of the backside too. And I mentioned he obviously is super athletic. He can add a little bit more strength to his frame, but he's only 20 years old. Yeah. He is a very young player entering the NFL, and if the Bears can draft him, I feel like he's an Eberflus type of guy when I watch his hustle, his intensity. And on top of that, like, you can still develop him because he's so young. So he's the perfect clay to mold and become that prototypical defensive end that I think Flus wants in his defense.
No doubt about it.
All right, well, that's going to do it here for Myles Murphy and making the case for him. We'll be back with another prospect here soon. But before we get to him, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel that way you don't miss that next video. And, of course, all of our Bears content all off season long.